I totally fell for a lot of this brainwashing, and it could have massively been detrimental to my hair. So if you're actively growing your hair right now, then you're gonna want to listen into this video, because this will literally help you not to make those mistakes so that you don't have setbacks, the kind of setbacks and mistakes that I've made and I am actually regretting. Okay, the first kind of subtle brainwashing that I feel like we've experienced is that this idea of we have to have the newest hairstyle, whether it's boho braids, whether it's lemonade braids, whatever style it is, it may be faux locks, whatever it is. I feel like some of these styles do come in trends, which is fine, but when we're indulging in content, it can feel like we're missing out if we're not wearing those same styles, and that's something that we need to do. And I just realized that it's not true. We don't have to get involved in wearing the newest hairstyle. The next one I feel is that we have to get the newest tool, and it's usually like a detangling tool, for example. So, it may have been the tangle teaser, it may have been the unbrush, two of which I actually have, by the way. The tangle teaser, it was actually given to me, so that's slightly different. It was given to me. But the unbrush was definitely me feeling like, I'm missing out by not having an unbrush. I need an unbrush to be able to detangle my hair. Do you know how many times I've used that unbrush since I've got it? I think twice. And that's I've had it for about 10 months, I think. So realistically, did I need it? No. Has it massively made any difference to detangling my hair? No, because typically I finger detangle anyway. So we don't necessarily need the newest tool. I think another one, which is slightly, just slightly different, is that we're always going to be excited by our hair, and I just feel that that's not true. And it's not to say that influencers, and I have to be careful when I'm doing this video, because probably I am considered to be a hair influencer in this same space now. So in a sense, I'm saying they, but I'm also referring to myself. But I think it's key that it's important for us to know that not all hair influencers are always excited by their hair. Sometimes they are bored by their hair. Sometimes they are, maybe they like doing what they're doing because they're trying new styles, trying new products, trying new tools and things like that. That's what maybe keeps it exciting. But for me, my routine is very, very simple. I wear my hair in twists. I use the same products pretty much over and over again, same products that I have pretty much been using for years, and not much changes. My hair is always in this kind of bun or in two cane rows down here. It doesn't change much. But I did share a video one time about the fact that I felt a bit, I don't know if I was talking about being bored, but I just felt a bit some type of way concerning my hair. But it's one of those things that I just want you to know that everybody is going to feel like that at some point, and it's okay. The next one is something that is talked and seen all the time, and it's this idea that we have to straighten our hair. Now, influencers aren't necessarily telling us to do that. I know that. But the fact that we see so much content sometimes with, come with me while I go to get a silk press, or watch me do my silk press, get ready with me as I do my silk press, or, just all these videos about silk press and straightening and all of these things. And seeing it so much can make us feel like, well, my hair doesn't look like that. But it doesn't have to look like that. My hair doesn't have to be straightened. And I also think something that I have done, which I realize I don't need to keep doing, is I've been straightening my hair sometimes in order to do, a bit of a length check. Like at the end of the year, maybe I'll straighten my hair. And okay, if I want to straighten my hair, then great. But I really don't have to. I really don't have to straighten my hair to do a length check. I really don't have to straighten my hair to show anybody else what my hair is looking like. And I say that to you as well. You don't have to straighten your hair to show anybody what it looks like. You really don't. If you want to straighten your hair, then of course go for it, with the right heat protection and all of that, the right temperature and things. But honestly, let's not kind of give into this idea that straight hair looks the best. Like, I like my twists. I'm very happy with my twists. So we just gotta be happy with our hair. I think another one is that sometimes I feel like influencers can try out new hairstylists like it's a sport. Like, let me get as many hairstylists content under my belt as I can. I am not doing that. No, 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 no. I have my one hairstylist that I go to. I will not go to any other hairstylist unless I am really, really, really putting in the research in order to, I'm talking, I want to hear a lot of word of mouth about other people's experiences. I'm checking out Trustpilot reviews. I'm checking out Google reviews. I'm checking out everything until I go to that new hairstylist. On either, if not, I'm just sticking with who I'm sticking with. So I think I want to say that to you as well, that it's a total myth that we have to be constantly trying out new stylists. No, 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 no. Just find your one stylist and stick with it. As long as they are taking care of your hair, you don't really need to be going anywhere. That's just my thought. I mean, it takes so much time, it takes so much research to find a new stylist. So I personally would rather just stick with who I know, or I don't know, just stick with doing my hair myself. Okay, but on the other side of that, because I do feel that this is a balance, this is a real balance, I also feel that sometimes we can be brainwashed into thinking that all hairstylists are like the devil. They're all evil and they're all out to get us. They're all out to chop off our hair. And that's not true either. Yes, there have been times where this has happened quite a lot, where maybe certain hairstylists have cut off people's hair without giving them the right like consultations for them to know how much they're cutting off. Those kinds of things do happen, and I probably would say that it happens more often than it should. Definitely more often than it should. But that's not to say that all hairstylists are like the devil or like the plague and we need to avoid them. It's not that either. There's really a balance in between those two thoughts of I need to constantly be trying out new hairstylists, to the other side of I'm never, ever, ever going to a hairstylist because they are the plague. No, there's a bit of a balance, and it's just about finding that balance for you. Another one is something that I feel that we see often from a lot of influencers. Often we'll see them wearing their hair out. And I guess it makes sense because aesthetically, that's what's gonna draw in the content. You know what I mean? For example, let me just share that on the thumbnail of a lot of my YouTube videos, you'll see me stretching my hair. I do that because that's what you guys like to see. Like, you guys like to see that I am growing my hair, that it has a bit of length to it, right? And on the other side of that, in other social media platforms, it may be that people like to see straightened hair or people like to see hair out. So that then makes us think, oh, this person wears their hair out quite often. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But the thing is, that doesn't mean to say that we have to also be wearing our hair out constantly. One thing that we do know is that when it comes to hair growth and length retention, keeping our hair away, up off our shoulders is something that helps us to retain length. So we don't need to give into the rhetoric that it's okay for us to wear our hair out all of the time. If you, of course, if you want to do that, then do that. It's really up to you. But my point is, in terms of if you're really wanting to retain the most length as possible, we do know that putting your hair away does help and is kind of a bit better. Okay, the next one is that trimming your hair helps it grow faster. Have you guys heard that before? I know you've heard that before. And I have spoke about this quite a bit recently because I realized that I felt like I was in a second plateau where my hair has been kind of teetering between bra strap and mid back length for about a year. And I've been trying to get to waist length, and it feels like it's been taking much longer. In reality, it hasn't been taking much longer. It's taking the same amount of time. But the problem is, I cut off around about, I think it was like 3.5, 4 inches of my hair in March of this year, which was my fault because I just decided that I wanted my hair to look more even. And I realized it doesn't need to look even. It really doesn't need to look even. I do need to get rid of single strand knots. I do want to get rid of split ends. Any unhealthy ends is what I want to get rid of. But that doesn't mean that it has to be even. And so that is a massive thing that I feel, sometimes we can get brainwashed into thinking that our hair has to be even, that trimming our hair makes it grow faster. No, it doesn't. Our hair grows from the root, it doesn't grow from the ends, right? So that's it. And then the last one is a big one. You probably know what's coming, which is this brainwashing of feeling that constantly changing our products and constantly changing, trying out new products is necessary. It is not necessary. Many influencers will have, kind of connections or agreements with certain brands. They get given products, they get gifted products, they are maybe affiliates for those products. And so, of course, they're going to advertise those products to us. That means that they also are using all these different products in their hair. But that doesn't mean that we need to do that. For me, I really feel that just sticking with one type of product, or when I say one type of product, I mean just sticking with the products that you typically use for your hair, as long as you know that they are working well, just stick with it. You really don't need to be going out and buying the newest hair line out there. It's really just not necessary. And personally, I don't even think it is their routine. I think it is just, like I said, maybe they're affiliates for the product, maybe they've been gifted those products, things like that. So those are my few thoughts. I really think I don't want us to be brainwashed into misunderstanding these things and then implementing them and realizing that our hair suffers as a result. Because here's one thing I have noticed. Some, and I'm saying some, it's not all, some influencers that I watch, I have noticed that over time, either maybe they've stopped doing hair content, or maybe they have openly shared that they've got some like heat damage, or their hair has just been damaged in some way. Maybe because they're swapping out products, maybe because they're straightening their hair often. I don't know the reason, and it's absolutely no shade to anybody, because of course we're all in a place where we're all learning our hair and learning the kind of routine that is necessary for us. So it's absolutely no shade to anybody. Like, we're all on this journey. But yeah, I think I just discovered that it's so important to, when you have your hair routine, literally to just stick to it. Just stick to it. It's so easy to get pulled to the left and pulled to the right, and I'm going to do this instead, I'm going to do that instead. If what you've been doing has been working for you, just stick with it. And that's why I released a video recently, and I shared that I have made a few changes to my wash routine. But honestly, they were such minor changes. It's not that I'm making absolutely massive, drastic changes to my routine. So that would be like my little bit of encouragement and advice to you. It would be to stick with your routine, stick with your hair routine, and just be consistent with it. Over time, you are going to get to the length that you want to get to. Like, I want to get to tailbone length. Over time, I will get there. I'm 5 years in now to this journey, and my hair was shaved 5 years ago. Now clearly Clearly it's not shaved anymore, it's getting longer. And it's all because I've just been sticking to a routine and being consistent at it. And so if that's something that you feel like you need, if you don't have a clear hair growth routine, then I would encourage you to get one. I would encourage you to develop it. It can take time. It's all about knowing your hair. It's all about knowing your lifestyle and how is it going to work. I'm going to leave a link in the description box of this video, and that's all about how you can grow your hair past your shoulders for the first time ever. Even if you've never had long hair before, that's going to help you to create your own personalized hair care routine and just stick at it for like 12 weeks. And you should be able to retain at least 1 inch of growth by the end of that 12 weeks. So I'll leave that with you. But again, if hair growth is kind of new to you, then you probably need a bit of help just starting off and knowing some things that you can do to help get your hair longer. So the video that I'm going to put on the screen now is going to give you some tips on how you can grow your hair longer. Feel free to go and watch that and just enjoy those, implement them, be consistent with them, and I promise you will be able to see some length retention. So go ahead and click that and I'll see you over there on that video.